and welcome to Stitching Ain't Easy. My name is Ashley. Thank you guys so very much for joining me today. Today is August the 14th, 2021. This may be a semi-long one, as they usually are, but at least I'm giving you a warning in advance. So if y'all want to grab a drink or a snack, feel free. Okay, so if you've been here before, thank you. You're probably used to my ramblings. If you're new, thank you so very much for joining. I hope you appreciate my ramblings. Okay, cool. So today I thought I would just kind of go over the bingo squares for July and August. I realize it's August 14th already. I never did July's, and I just kind of realized that. So yeah, I discussed like my ideas, but I never discussed what I actually accomplished, which was not very much at all. And then I have the August one. We're almost halfway through August, so I'm doing much better this month than I was last month, to say the least. So okay, so for last month, this is my July one. Not one bingo, not at all, almost, not quite. Let's see, create your own thing, like using color changing yarn or whatever, but don't control the color. That's the one that I missed. I never did do that. Seems simple enough, right? But I didn't do it. So the ones that I did do on here, let me move this real quick so I can grab my notebook. Okay. The ones for July. Okay, the very top square is to finish a whip, and I counted my whip as getting caught up on the Jada blanket. I am working on the July when I still haven't done that, so technically I guess I probably shouldn't have marked that one off. Already kind of cheating right off the bat. This is how far I am into July. She's already put out her August one, but that's, you know. So this is my Jada blanket so far, her yearly mile a minute blanket. I will link it below, but this is it. It's a good length. I like it a whole lot. I'm loving the way that it's turning out, and still this one is my favorite one, the one that looks like cupcakes. That's my favorite. So, okay, I mapped out how I wanted this blanket to look and just crossed my fingers that she was going to use just two colors the whole way through it. So far, so good. So yeah, this is where we are. June, I suppose. This is what the blanket is going to look like. The middle, my red fell out, but it's this. That one. I mean, you know, we already did that. This is January. Okay, so January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Anyway, so this is the one that I'm on. So the fun thing, I've mentioned this before, if you've been here, you're probably sick of hearing about it. Scooch. The fun part about this blanket is that it's like all laid out, all fun. It goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And then it starts out dark on the outside and light on the inside, and then it goes light, dark, light, dark, all the way through. And it makes a rainbow. What I didn't notice on that for some reason, I don't know why, but this already it's already all the colors of the rainbow. See, red, fun. So there's going to be several rainbows in this little blanket. So the next one that goes right next to this is the July one. It is also green, but the inside is this light green, and then the outside is this dark green. And they will be right next to one another, and then it'll go back. And so, anyway, I'm loving the way it's turning out, though. But yeah, that cupcake one, that's my favorite. So I marked it off because I had been working on it, and actually whenever I started working on it, I just had the January, February, so I did this in July, and then got caught up to where I was on the July row, so I went ahead and counted it, which, you know, whatever. Alright, so anywho, I meant to make myself ruby red slippers because ruby is July's birthstone, and I didn't do it, still haven't. I did save my wrappers. I've already put those up. There was like a stack of them, but I've already put them up in a little thingy. Finish a whip. I did whip weekend. I will link that below. Create something for donations, and this one's use a yarn you haven't used before. I marked part of it because I used the yarn, but I didn't complete the project. I was making makeup bags out of the yarn Be Purely. It's like really quite luxurious. Anyway, so I've been making makeup bags, but I didn't complete a makeup bag out of that. And then the create something for Halloween or the fall festival. I made a scarf. You're gonna have to come back in October to check out said scarf. I will simply say it's one of my favorite movies. It's a Beetlejuice scarf. It's super cool. So anyway, but I'm not gonna show y'all. Oh my gosh, sorry. I didn't mean to make you have an earthquake after disappointing you by not showing you the scarf, but yeah, I'm saving that for October because it's a good one. So I made a Beetlejuice scarf. I'm very, very pleased. Okay. With the way it turned out is what I should say. So for the August one, this is what I have for August. So I'm doing much better this month. We're only halfway through, so not quite. So maybe, you know, like if I do this, that's 2 bingos. That's exciting. What is that one? Make a levy. I just have to make a levy, and that's 2 bingos. Okay, so the very first one is that I have completed. I'm just going to tell you guys what I have completed. The first one's finish a whip. I've had startitis lately. I haven't finished very many whips. I've been starting projects left and right. That's about all. Okay, so anyway, I have 1 finish a whip marked off. Okay. The one I marked off is make something in the color peridot or green. Peridot is August's birthstone. It says or green, so that's what I went with. I've mentioned several times that the Yarn Bee I love this yarn Jazz Stripe is my favorite yarn, and I wanted to make a blanket out of it, so that's what I've been doing. So I used that, and I used the I love this yarn Limelight, it's a green one. I love this yarn Peacock and Big Twist Magenta. This so far is my creation. So we're just doing double crochet, and I'm leaving my ends because normally I'd weave the ends in probably, but this is how everyone I know always made an afghan like this. If you do 1 row, you just leave the little ends, and so that's what I'm going to do, just because, like, nostalgia purposes. So yeah, so this is the Limelight, the Peacock, the Magenta. So I did 2 rows of green and 2 rows of, like, alternates. It's Limelight, Jazz Stripe, Peacock, Jazz Stripe, Limelight. Okay. But I did 2 rows of the green and 2 rows of the teal before I did a row of the pink, and I'm going to continue that so the pink's not, like, you know, too much in it, but it needed something. So that's what it got, was magenta. So I love it. This so far is already 1 full skein of the Jazz Stripe, so oops. Okay, so yep. So it's gonna need several of those, I suppose. I have a couple more, but it'll be good. So I'm loving the way it turns out. It was turning out, should I say. It gets very, very pretty. So that right there, my little gnome village. Okay, so that then is this one. The next one is create a backpack buddy. I haven't done that. I thought about it. There's a little dude that my son's wanting me to make for him, and I need to do that. We start school next month, so we have a little bit of time. But yeah, I'll probably do that for him just because he'll probably use it as a keychain, who knows. But okay. So the next one, y'all are probably gonna think is odd. That's okay. Hey, welcome. I'm odd. The next one is make something for a teacher, make something for a teacher. Okay. Some of you know this, some of you may not. We homeschool. So therefore, teacher, why that would be me. Hello. So I thought about just skipping this one and not even counting it. Just because, like, I always feel weird whenever, I remember one time, like, okay, ramblings, I told y'all to grab a soda and a snack, I don't know, I remember one time, it's like one of my happiest moments, like, whenever, I don't know, anyway, we were at a Renaissance fair, and there was, like, a little, magician up there doing, like, acrobatics and little fun things, or whatever. I suppose he was an acrobat slash magician. Dude had it all going on, you know, so like, he was like the ultimate one-man show. So anyway, so he's up there doing his little tricks, and he asks the audience, are there any teachers? And at that point, I think we'd been homeschooling probably 5 years. No one in the audience raised their hand. I just sat there like, because once again, I've mentioned, like, on here, I could talk your leg off. If we meet, I may say 3 words. Probably not. If we've known each other for like a week and a half, I may say 5 words. We'll see. So anyway, yeah, so he said teacher, and I just clammed up because it was like, well, no. And all 4, like my husband and all 3 of my kiddos, all just like turned and looked at me like, aren't you gonna raise your hand? What the heck? And it was just like this moment of like, y'all are so dang sweet. Like, thank you. Like, just them noticing, you know, because it's like I'm their mama, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really feel like, even though I am their teacher, it's like this weird line there that, like, it kind of, yeah. And I remember one year my mom bought me, well, she's purchased a couple of them at this point, but the very first time she ever bought me a t-shirt, it's like, it said something about being a teacher on it. Oh no, I don't remember what it says. The second one was Teacher Tribe. Oh, it was I love my job. That's what it is. It's like, I love being a teacher. That's what it is. It's like, I love being a teacher, and it has like little cute stuff on it, and I just like cried whenever she gave it to me, because it was just like, that's so cool. Like, I don't know, you know, it's one thing to like be a mama, it's another thing to like get that recognition, I guess. And my homeschool mamas out there probably know what I'm talking about. Like, it's this weird thing, and I just feel like their mom. And so for them to like all 4 turn and look at me like, why aren't you raising your hand, was just like, you guys, like, that's one of the sweetest moments ever. So okay, so I'm gonna take this opportunity to use the make something for a teacher for myself. Taking a selfish. Okay, so I showed this in my family surprise blanket day 11. I am making the Alt Knots Friday the 13th cardigan. I love Friday the 13th, Jason, spooky scary things, Halloween, spooky scary skeletons, all of those things. So yeah, I'm very cold natured. Usually it's all about like stretchy pants and a big old comfy sweater, and that's my teaching outfit. That's my attire. It's my attire right now, and we're not even in school yet, so yeah, that's what I wear. So I thought that this would work. Let's make something for the teacher. So it's my Friday the 13th cardigan. That's the kind of teacher I am. So, right. So I will link this below also. It's really cool. It's just like a ginormous cardigan that is basically a blanket, and I'm going to make mine to where it goes almost to my knees, and so it's even more of just like a wrap yourself up and snuggle and do read alouds with kiddos and teach, and it's probably going to be worn pretty often. So this is it so far. This is the back panel, and if you guys just watched the other family surprise video, I'm not any further. This is like 3 minutes into the future. Hers is all red and black, but I wanted to add some white because of Jason's mask. I feel like that's important. So this is my back panel, and then you make 2 front panels, like front panels, back panel, sleeves. It makes sense, right? So for the sleeves, once again, because I rarely follow a pattern, I don't know why. Anyway, I wanted the sleeves to be Freddy Krueger because I just feel like the two of those, plus teaching, it's gonna be a good year, you know? So anyway, so this is one of my sleeves so far. It's Freddy Krueger. And you're supposed to measure from your wrist. This is not my wrist. I'm talking about being a teacher. You even know anatomy. My gosh. Okay, so it's from your elbow to your wrist, y'all. And anyway, jeez Louise. So it is, but I think one more row of green just because I like things that go over my hands, like those sweaters with the holes and like the thumbs. Those are my favorite. If it like covers my hand, I'm all about it. And so I think if it's like here, that'll be good. Plus it's insanely large. Once again, it's just a super, super big cardigan. It's like a blanket. It's like a Snuggie. So I was explaining to the family, I'm like, you know, like Snuggies? It's like a Snuggie. And they're like, ooh. So I think I'm going to have to make some for Christmas now. Pretty sure everyone's getting one for Christmas now. Totally okay with that because they're a lot of fun to make. Will be linked below. So that's my something for the teacher. My 45-minute conversation there about that one little square, but did it. Okay. Jeez. Next one is blanket in progress. I have two because I really didn't know which one to count. Just in case I don't work. Well, I worked on one. But just in case, you know, whatever. Alright. Actually, no, I didn't. That's a fib. I haven't worked on it yet. Darn it. Well, it's in progress. I'm gonna work on it. Shoot. Just marking stuff off, apparently. Okay. Mostly I'm kind of doing this so that I can put these things away that I've been working on. Okay, so blanket in progress. I did both of our movie blankets. This is our movie and stitch blanket. It goes this way because this is A. Here on the letter H. I am behind. It's pretty wide. And I love it. So yeah, so this is one of the family blankets that we are counting because we are watching our family movies, or watching our movies as a family, and these are all of our family movies. So this is one of our family blankets, and then our other family blanket is our surprise family blanket that we've been making videos for every day and adding to. It's right here. Once again, just did that video. But this one is our other family blanket. So we do things as a family pretty often, and we thought it'd be cool to kind of have like a memento for that. And so the movie and stitch are all like our A through Z movies that we watch together. The other one are like fun family activities and just different things. So 2 family blankets. Then my other movie blanket that we're counting, I didn't really count the other one. This is a different square on here, but I just wanted to show that for so you guys know about the family blanket, I guess. Okay, so for the other one is our Manic Stitchin' blanket, which I need to add the whole 9 yards. Bruce Willis, but I haven't. But this is it so far, and it's ginormous because it's going to fit on our bed at the new house. I'm making another, well, I haven't started it yet, but I'm wanting to make another blanket also for the new house, and that way, you know, it's not really thick, plus one's in the washer, blah blah blah, you know, whatever. But anyway, I really have a really cool idea for a quilt. I've shared that, I think, but anyway, yeah, so it's huge. It goes, I mean, it's king size, so yeah, it's huge. But anyway, I'm loving it though. So it uses a lot of yarn, so I haven't really messed with it a bunch. But it's really fun. That's like I said, our Manic Stitchin' that we do with Neva and her husband, like our date night blanket. So those are our date night movies. So, okay. Next one's create a Christmas ornament. Haven't done that. I need to though, because every year I give my kiddos ornaments. Christmas Eve, they open pajamas and their ornament and they put it on the tree. And they have pajamas to wear that night. We've done that since Squirrely Dan was old enough to know what was going on, and so that's been our thing forever. So they all have an ornament. My mom did that with me. So I have all of my ornaments. And so this year last year I crocheted the mall ornament. I just did a snow globe. I have a video about that. That was one of my very first videos. Anyway, I made them all a snow globe, but this year I want to make them something, I don't know, a little more meaningful and cool. So I think I'm gonna try to do that one. No, this one. Okay, so this one is the Save Your Wrappers. See how much you've been through this month. This is where I am so far. So, like I said, it's about halfway. The next one after that is to work on a project that will take a year to make. I mentioned before that I want to make Squirrely Dan, aka now that he has a nickname, I want to make him a blanket for graduation. So I'm sort of working on that. Also counting my Jada blanket, so I marked that one because of those. I've been still like planning out ideas for his blanket. I've got the yarn situated, all those things. I really haven't started working on it, which I really, really need to, but I can't quite decide if I just want to do like a regular granny square. I'm kind of thinking about doing like a solid square, you know, like where you go in each stitch instead of doing a granny, and then that way it has more, it's warmer. Number one. Also, it has more room for me to do like fun appliques and things, and so I think that's going to be what I do. So that's kind of quite the undertaking, but we have until May, so alright. Let's see. The next one is the Olympics are ending. Create something inspired by them. I was going to do the double wedding ring quilts. I didn't. I still would like to do that at some point, but I just have a lot on my plate, and I feel like my plate is getting smaller and smaller, getting more and more full of things, and so yeah, so that's part of the 5-year plan. That's what our ongoing conversation around the house. It's like, oh, but we'll put it on the 5-year plan, which could be 35 years down the road, but it's on the 5-year plan. So one of these days I'm gonna make a double wedding ring quilt with crochet, because I would love to do that. The next one is create something to be used in school. There are a lot of school related ones to be used in school. I haven't marked that one off simply because I don't know. I thought about just making, that's probably what I'll do, is which we already have one, so I don't know, but anyway, like a paper for them, or like a box, like a paper bin, I don't know, for them to turn their work in. I could just crochet one, like a little basket, you know, for them to turn their work in that sits on my desk. We have a wicker one that we've had forever. It works totally fine, so there again, I don't know why I would need to make one. So I don't know. We'll see. I may or may not fill in that square. Okay. The next one is finish a whip. So I guess I fibbed. I have 2 whips finished. Yay. This one right here. And I, with the Loop It yarn, I think I can reach it from here. Anyway, with the Loop It yarn, I had one skein I got last year on the October like Hobby Lobby thing. I got it like $1.37 or something. They only had one skein, and it was like random fabric ticket wrapped around it. I just did a long braid. I have a Crochet Ramblings. I'll probably upload this before this, so you guys have probably seen it. I don't know. Anyway, I just looped it all together and made a really long braid, and then that's what I've been hanging all of my cards for my beautiful, beautiful friends from. So let's, if I can reach this. Okay, please don't fall. Just be cool, little guy, just be cool. Ooh. Okay, so there. So yeah, I just did a long braid. I've been wanting to do this one for a while. I had part of it and then finished it, and now I'm counting the like finished whip part because I'm hanging beautiful cards off of it. Not that you can see any of them, but trust me, they're up there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, now it's backwards, but at least it didn't fall. I can flip it, it's fine. So yeah, so that one's really cool because now I can see all of my pretty cards. I did have them hanging on the wall, but like push pins and tape on paint aren't really a good deal, you know? not necessarily push pins and paint, maybe just like sheetrock and push pins, but either way. So I figured that way I can do that. I have ideas in my crochet ramblings for you guys, like if you wanted to do Christmas colors to hang your Christmas cards off of, you could do fun birthday colors for birthday cards. You like have, you know, teal and grays in your house. You can make a teal one and hang like fun family like pictures or whatever from it. I'm using these to, there's two different sizes. Let's see. Ones are from my beautiful friend, these bigger ones, and then I'm using these littler ones from the Dollar Tree, and that's what I'm clipping them on with. So it's super duper easy. You just hook your card on there, and so you could totally do that with like family photos or whatever, like hang it, you know, above like your bed or in the hallway, or I mean, you know, wherever you wanted to hang pictures, I guess, right? Whatever you want to keep cold, sun, am I right? So anyway, yeah, so you can hang things or stuff. Okay, let's see, the next one is free space. Did it. Thank you. Okay, the next one is make something with bulky yarn. I made this dude that I showed the other day in my how much can I crochet in a day. He's sort of bulky-ish, but not really. A little sunshine guy. I love him. I made a daisy also. I love this one though. Baby girl hadn't swiped it yet. We have to give it to her after this. And also I made a hat out of bulky yarn. So I counted that one. Okay, the next one is create something with an apple theme. There's a lot of shul going on. Lots and lots of shul ones. AKA school. Once again, if y'all haven't been here, we call it shul because of Megamind. It's a good movie. So create something with an apple theme. I don't know. I mean, I thought about maybe doing like an amigurumi or something, but I don't know, you know. Our room at the new house, our classroom, is going to be considerably smaller, and so like I'm thinking like a minimalist thing would be okay. So I don't know about all the extra stuff. So I mean, I realize I could still make something with an apple theme. It could be like in the kitchen or something, but I don't know that I'm gonna do that one either. So you know. Okay, the next one is create a scrap project. That's my jam. I'm all about a scrap project. The scrap project I'm counting this time, however, is this. Our family surprise blanket. Because it's kind of scrappy, you know? So the next one's make a lovey. Don't have it. If I get that one, I get 2 bingos, so I may need to do that one. Create something with cotton yarn. I haven't done that, but I have something that I want to make. You guys have been here and you remember back, there's like that Dollar Tree cotton. There's like a sage green and like a cream color. I sure would like to make something with those here real soon. Also, I have orange and black marl and orange that I would really like to make a Halloween something with. So I feel like cotton is in like a cotton wearable or 2 are definitely in my future. The next one is create a corner to corner project. Never have I ever, let's just play that game. Never have I ever created a corner to corner project. So that one would be fun. It's also kind of intimidating. I'm sure it's, I don't know, it looks a little hard. I don't know. But yeah, so I may try that one. Once again, little plate mounted over with things, so I don't know. The next one's finish a whip. Nope. Create a donation. Yes. Have a few of those. Okay, the next one is so much fun, y'all. Okay, so the next one is create something that will bring winter to mind. Shout out to New Zealand. That's what it says. I do not like winter, Sam I am. I don't like it in a boat. I don't like it with a goat. I don't like it with socks. I don't like it any time. Do not like winter, Sam I am. But so I didn't want to make anything to bring winter to mind. So I originally started out making a blanket, but that's okay. So I used the Red Heart neon stripe, this beauty right here, and the red heart black light. And I made squares. There's one random square in here somewhere. Here we go. Made squares. I used my 5.5 hook, and I used 4 rounds. Sorry. Okay. I used 4 rounds of the neon stripe, and then this outer row, like the 5th round, is the black light. So I just made them like this, and as I made the squares, like I'd make this one and then pull the next color out and just add it in, and so that way like the colors don't match. There's not like a pink by a pink or anything. And I started out, like I said, making a blanket, and as I was making it, I was just like, oh my goodness, that looks, okay, once again, the kiddos all have nicknames. So my middle son is Finn, and I was just like, that looks just like Finn's colors. Like, oh my goodness gracious, wow. And so he came downstairs, and I said something to him about it. I'm like, would you like a blanket? And he was like, yes, I would. And so then as I sat there, I was like, ooh, it could be a scarf. And he's like, I'd rather have a scarf than a blanket. So I was like, cool, because that'll take a lot less time. So this is what I have so far. And then this one goes right here. Right? No, it goes on this end. So then that way it has some room. But either way, this is it. And I'm just going to make probably 2 or 3 more squares, and then I'm going to border it all in black per his request. So it's very, he wants this new room to be like 90s, like Nickelodeon bright fun colors. Like I always think, like whenever he talks about it, like Saved by the Bell, like the bright colors and the weird funky shapes. That's like the perfect example in my brain anyway. So yeah, this is what he wants his room to look like. So I think it'll be really cool. So he was very excited about this one. It's August, but it's probably going to be for Christmas. I think I've mentioned that, but that's okay. Okay. The next one then is share ideas for fall or spring. I'll probably come back and do that like eventually, but I didn't mark it off. Yeah, because I don't really know right now. The next one is finish a whip, and I did. I finished my gnome home. I finished the I finished a yarn shop, and then the yarn shop I showed a while back, and then I made a completely new one. I finished both of them that I showed a while back, and then I made a completely new one. So I have 3 gnome homes and some gnome home accessories to show you guys. So I need to do that. And then the last one, that's the gnome home. And this one is create something for fall or spring. I've been making hats and scarves on the knitting machine like crazy. I'm sure as most places, just like here in Oklahoma, you don't really have a spring or a fall. It's just like either really hot or really cold. You have like spring for maybe 4 days, and you're like, oh, look at that, the birds are chirping, and you're like, just kidding, all the grass is dead. It's 114. So there's like no real in between. So I kind of figure hats and scarves totally count, especially around here for spring and for fall. So yeah. So this is what I'm going to show you guys. I showed a whole bunch of them in all the ones I made so far in my crochet ramblings, but this is one of my favorites. This is the Premier Nordica yarn, and I just did the entire skein. Started with waste yarn, didn't stop until I couldn't go any further, did waste yarn. And this is how it turned out. I think it's really pretty, and it's another one of those that's probably, I don't even know how long. Oh, probably 8 feet. It's huge, and I love it. So you could do like a whole wraparound thing, like this. Do one of these, you know? Whip it back, because, you know, we're fancy and stuff. Ooh, hey. So anyway, I love the way it turned out though, how it patterned. It's so cool. Okay, so so that's my last one in that whole thing in the yarn and then go. So if I go make a lovey, that'd be good. Other than that, probably whips, maybe an ornament, maybe the cotton yarn, maybe a corner to corner, but I doubt it because we're already over halfway or almost halfway through the month, so kind of doubt I started corner to corner right now. I'm pretty into the whole Friday the 13th slash Freddy thing. Just mess my hair all up. You don't believe that? Anyway, I'm pretty into the whole Friday the 13th Freddy Krueger cardigan that I have going on. You know, I make something for the teacher, so that's what I've been working on a lot. I've been making some donation things and just kind of been taking it easy other than that. Alright, we're 35 minutes in. Thank you all for watching. If all you wanted to watch about was yarn, I appreciate you guys so very, very much. I just want to talk a smidge about my health because I haven't done that in a while. So yeah, if you guys want to listen, feel free. If not, I completely understand. Thank you for watching to this point. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Okay. Alright, so can we all lend to Richmond and just coffee talk it for just a second? Thanks, guys. Alright. Okay. My Winnie the Pooh cup. Says oh bother. It's a good time. My coffee's all cold because I've been yammering for 36 minutes, but that's okay. Alright. So, I don't like this part. I do know that a lot of you pray and worry and have me in your thoughts and in your prayers. I just said pray 2 times. That's okay. I appreciate them all. Okay, so I had my 6th treatment. I'm a week and 2 days out now. I wasn't as tired that like last time as I have been. I still feel pretty wore out even now. I haven't really been talking about him so much because it's just kind of getting to be a lot, I guess. It's kind of weighing on me a lot, and it's just like kind of bringing me down a lot. I'm just gonna be honest. I try really hard to be positive for you guys, but also I feel like it's not fair if I'm not like somewhat real with you guys about everything. It's hard to be positive all the time, you know? So yeah, that's been kind of my thing lately. I'm just trying to be positive through the whole thing. I feel like the last 2 treatments, there's been a few times I've been able to like eat stuff and keep it down, which is huge. Huge. The other day I actually craved food. Just one thing, it was pork rinds. I know it's so very random. Think of all things to crave pork rinds, but I did. And I mentioned to my husband that I was craving food, and he was just like, how long has it been since you craved food? And I was just like I couldn't even think. Yeah, at least 3 years since I've just been like, oh, that sounds good. Like I'll smell food in the parking lot, you know, if we're walking somewhere and someone's cooking something or whatever, you know, like at a restaurant or whatever, you're driving by and it's just like, ugh. And like just like right now even, it's just making me nauseous, just like the thought of food and the whole, like if I could go forever and not eat, I'd be golden, I think. But pork rinds sounded good. There's been a couple times now that pork rinds have sounded good. I'm still getting sick, like I said, but not, there's like a few days there where I'm not as bad, and then it starts to kind of wear off, which makes sense because this medicine has like a 28 to 30 day window where it works, and after that it kind of starts to wear off. So it kind of makes sense. I've been told several times that I'm the sickest patient that they have, and so it kind of makes sense, I guess, that it's taken this long to work if it's working. I go and just not very long. Just a few days. Seems like a couple weeks, but it seems like just a few days. But yeah, a couple weeks. And I'll go for my scope. And we'll check and be able to tell if it's working. And then after that, a week after that, then I'll have my 7th treatment. And so yeah. So like I'll have my scope, and then they'll do blood work, and through those things be able to tell if there's any improvement. I don't know. I have to say I'm a lot happier with this place than I was with the last one. I mean, obviously than I was with the last one. My gosh, like I could have went to Home Depot for my treatment and been happier probably than I was with the last place, but beside the point. But yeah, I feel like they really have their stuff together. They come in, they don't leave. If they do leave, they're just right across the hall, and I can be like, excuse me, and they're like, shoop, there. Before I kind of got left by myself the whole time. The hubby can come with me. That's pretty phenomenal. I didn't get that last time. I feel like they kind of have their stuff together, and they're a lot more on top of it, a lot more caring. The one lady always asks about my crochet, which I think is really sweet, because I, take a project every time, because I sit there for a minimum of 3 hours. Usually it's like 5 hours. So I take my crochet, and every time she's like, what are you working on? Did you get your last thing finished? And I'll show her a picture, like, the last time I was working on the neon blanket with all the granny squares, and she's like, that is so cool. So when I was making it, she's like, that looks like Halloween. And I was like, that's what I thought too. So I told her, and she knows about like what's over here to Ashley anyway, but she knows about the gnomes and the gnome village, and she tells everybody about my little village, and she's like, it's so cool, and has me show them pictures. And so I told her last time I was in there that there are two ladies that helped me out, and I told her that I needed to make them both a gnome. And she's like, that would be phenomenal. She's like, we don't have anything fun in there, just boxes. So I was like, okay. So I may have to make 2 gnomes before I go back, which would be fun. I wouldn't mind taking them something. I'm still like iffy, very iffy on the whole thing. Everything still is like super sketchy, and I'm trying not to just be like, oh, it's great, just because of how wrong everything was before. And so I'm still very skeptical. There are some days where I'm like, I don't want to do it, just forget it. Nope. And my mom called me the other day, and she's like, how was your treatment? You know what, first off, did you even go to your treatment? And I was like, that's a fair question. It's a very fair question. Like, did you go, or once again, did you just go hang out at the creek? Fair questions. So but I went. Begrudgingly I went. So yeah, it's like I said, just a couple weeks, not very long at all, and I'll have my scope, and I'll have news, and I'll know if it works. And that was my question, like, if it doesn't work, then what? And at this point, I like 99.9% that I've been getting the medication. They supposedly rolled me over 3 months ago to do that. They still won't tell me if I'm getting it though. So they just keep telling me, like, if you're not though, then maybe you're not getting drug. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I am. Like, what if I'm not getting better? But like that, I've been able to like slowly keep things down, and slowly stuff like that. I'm still out of breath a lot. Just like right now, oh my gosh. The other day I made my crochet ramblings. It was like 20 some minutes into it, and just had to like pause it, and had to go take like a 30-minute break just because I couldn't breathe or talk anymore. And I don't feel like that's a good thing at all. I'm just so exhausted, which I'm sure not eating food contributes to that, but also it's just a lot on my body. The trip and the treatment and staying and coming and driving, and the stress. Probably the stress more than any of it. So yeah. I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk to you guys about. I don't remember. But yeah, overall, I'm enjoying this place more, slowly. It took me a bit. Once again, I've mentioned it takes me a while to warm up to people and to places and to things. You wouldn't think that from watching me on here, I'm sure, but it does. I'm very much an introvert, very much a cynic, I suppose. Very cynical about a lot of things, just like, I don't know, prove, you know? Very John Mulaney about it, like, prove you're not a robot and I can trust you. So yeah. So yeah, and I have a really hard time trusting doctors because I've been told that this is not real a lot. And so now that I'm like in the throes of this treatment for a very much real disease, it's kind of a lot for my brain to process too. Like, oh, okay, so it is real, so then there is, there are reasons that I've felt this or whatever, and okay. And it's like, I keep saying that, like, I've said that on here a million times. It's like, this is my body, I know what's going on, but it's like my brain's just now catching up to the fact that, like, it's very much real, it's very much a thing. And this whole time I've been either not listened to or misdiagnosed or just glossed over, given medication that I don't need, like a band-aid situation. I don't need a band-aid, it's like I was talking to my mom the other day, like, this medication is the only one that goes directly for your eosinophils. Everything else is straight up just a band-aid. And it's like, if you have a headache, you don't want to just take a Tylenol. You want to, what's the core, why do I have this headache? And so this is the one medication that goes directly for that. So honestly, I don't know what other option I would have other than this. So that's kind of weighing a lot on me too, I guess. So yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I'm back to like zero energy. I'm back to drinking. I said I've ate pork rinds a few times or whatever. I haven't eaten. Normally I eat like mashed potatoes and things. I haven't had that in a long time. I was trying to be good and like at least do that, but then I haven't, because it's just like I haven't really been getting as sick, and I'm really enjoying that. And so also I don't want to eat because I don't want to get sick. It's like this weird, like, tangled web, I suppose. I know that's not good, and I know that like that I need to go get fluids and things, and COVID is beyond right now. No one will just like wear their mask or just whatever. And so the only place that I can go get fluids is the hospital. Why? I don't know. Because I was told whenever I started this whole thing that possibly home health could come and do my treatment and give me like, whatever. And so I was hoping maybe they could do that and come do IV fluids and stuff, which is also kind of scary because obviously that home health person went, to 12 different other people's houses this week or whatever. But going to the hospital terrifies me. Going to the doctor's office terrifies me. Said in addition to this drug taking out my eosinophils, that also means that it's wiping out my immune system, like, completely. Because that's what's wrong with me. Like, my immune system is like the movie 300. They're very much like this is Sparta, and so they're not letting anything at all pass. And so this medicine is making it to where they like my eosinophils, aka my white blood cells, like back off a little bit. And with that, I touched my arm on something and I have a scar. I went out the other day to look at the blackberry bushes, and I got a couple sugar bites, and that's been 3 weeks probably, and it still looks like, I mean, they're still there. They don't itch, but it's like the red dots, just like, I mean, it's stuff that would heal in like a day or two. Isn't healing. Like, I cut myself shaving, and I have a big old scar from that, and I barely even cut myself. It didn't even like bleed really, but it left a scar. I'm getting like, I think I've mentioned this, like the ridges in my nails and in my toenails, and my hair is like getting very brittle, which is scary because, I mean, it's kind of weighted down, you know. It's pretty heavy. But yeah, if I just like move it and stuff, like I can feel it like snapping, which is kind of terrifying. So I definitely feel like I'm getting drug, for sure, because once again, what the heck's going on with me if I'm not? Something's going on with my body. I have lots of issues. Like, I can, like, the veins in my hands are just like very prominent, pretty gross, and just lots of stuff is changing with my body. I feel like all those things are kind of slowly getting worse. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. So like I said, I mean, the next couple weeks will be the tell, I guess, right? To know if it's doing anything, to know if it's helping, to know if it's worth it. Worth all of this, I guess. Because it's been a lot since January. It's been a lot for a long time, but so I really hope that it did something, because if not, it's been a lot on my entire family, not just like the ones that live in this household. So yeah, so I really hope that it's working. Same time, if it is working, it's forever, and that's a lot. I'll have to do this once a month. It's like set up at a minimum 3-hour infusion for the rest of my life. That's like a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot to ask for. And this last time was the first time that they've done my infusion, and because they did it for 2 hours, like the infusion was 2 hours, and then they observed me for an hour. So normally I've been doing them for 4 hours or for 3 hours, and then they observed me for an hour afterward. That's where I got 5 hours from. So usually I'm there 4 or 5 hours. This last time they did it in 2 hours and observed me for an hour, so I was only there for 3 hours. And them doing it that quickly, it blew my vein. I mentioned before, my veins don't like me. They usually have to fiddle with it a lot to even get an IV or get blood work or anything, and so going that fast blew my vein out. And so I don't even know. It's just like things will be like, oh, it's okay, everything's looking up, and then I don't know. I know God has a plan, or I wouldn't be here. I know God has a plan, real talk, or I wouldn't have started this channel. I started talking to people. I've met a really wonderful friend who has the same thing as me. We are a rare breed. A very rare breed. And she has the same thing, and we've become very close through our weird things that we have in common. Very weird, bizarre, off-the-cuff things that I never thought twice about, but we have conversations, and she's like, oh, well, blah blah blah. I mentioned her before, but it's like when we were younger, like cravings that we'd have, like just our body like missing those things, obviously, but just weird cravings that we'd have all the way up until now. The whole time I was pregnant, I felt like I was allergic. She was the same way. I mean, just like all of these things that are just like bizarre. And so I know it's real. And so that just kind of like helps me out, knowing that she's there, you know. So if I have a question or whatever, then you know, a concern of whatever, then I can ask her like, hey, do you do this? And she does that to me a lot. She'll text me and like, hey, you know, this happened, have you done that? And I was just like, yep. Usually like 99.9% of the time, you know, we're both like, sure enough, that happens. So that's been nice, like through the YouTube streets, I suppose. I met her. I know a lot of my friends on here have issues, and it's nice just to find some, I guess, solace in that. Just, you know, that we're not alone. You're not alone, just so you know. And I've mentioned this before, I feel like that's probably part of the reason we do yarn things and crochet. You can only sit on the couch, not go crazy for so long, and it's something creative, and you feel like you're accomplishing something at least, other than just like, you know, making it through an entire series of a show or whatever. You're also getting things done. So I feel like we all kind of have that in common in one way or another, be it big or small or indifferent, you know. Yeah, I feel like we all have that somehow. I mean, maybe not, you know. And if you're on here and you're insanely healthy and you just crochet, that's amazing. High five. That's awesome. So yeah. Okay, that's 20 minutes of rambling about something I really didn't want to talk about. So once again, I really appreciate the prayers from you guys, because I really, really have been needing them. I've just been kind of blah lately. I know a couple of my friends on here can, like I said, I mentioned that before too, can tell when I don't feel good. And they'll say something. I had a comment from a woman the other day that's like, I've never seen you before, but you look exhausted. And I was just like, thank you. Thank you for noticing. So yeah. So I'm trying real hard to put my game face on, but as the days go, it's just getting more and more difficult to game face it. I've been having the game face for about 10 years now. It's getting real heavy to wear that around, so that's why I like doing this channel, because I can come on here and talk about yarn and really pretty things and, you know, all that and stuff that I enjoy, and so that makes me happy. So that's why it's another reason, you know, everyone's like, you need to take a break, you know, we're still gonna be here if you don't make videos, and I get that. I know that there's times that I probably, like right now, probably shouldn't be making a video, but at the same time I feel like this is like one spot I feel semi-normal, like, cause I can just sit here and show things and talk about things that I like and that I enjoy and that make me happy, and it's not I don't know, it's not all health stuff. I mean, right now it is, obviously, but for the most part it's not. For the most part it's yarn and pretty things and gnome homes and Norm and talking to you guys, which I appreciate very much. So yeah, so I think that's kind of a lot of why I make videos so often. It's like, it just, like, for this long I feel normal. I feel like it's something I can do to put out in the world and be productive, as opposed to just staring and doing nothing or just feeling awful, because there are days that I don't want to do anything, but I'll try real hard to make a video just so I can say I did something that day, you know, like I can sit here and talk more than I can mop the house, type of a thing, I guess. So yeah, so thank you guys for listening because I needed this, and I'm pretty sure there's a reason that this channel is a thing. It helps me for sure, and I hope it helps. If it helps one other person even like this much, that's phenomenal. I really think it helps me just to kind of, I mentioned that before, it's kind of diary entry, and I made several videos I haven't even posted. I'm not gonna post just because it's like I'll just blather on about health and all the stuff that I've been through with all the doctors and all the stuff, and then I'm like, no one wants to watch that, so then I delete it. But I know that lots of you pray and worry. I'm at an hour. This is the longest one by far. It just rolled over to an hour. Y'all, if you're still here, thank you so very much. My gosh. Jeez. So anyway, yeah. So I thank you guys so very much for your prayers and for your sweet thoughts. I cannot thank you enough. Because yeah, it's, I don't know. There for a while, bleak was my word. It's probably still a pretty good word. It may be a little bit better, but I'm praying that it's better. That each treatment I'll get better for a couple more weeks, you know? That'd be amazing. Because I'm real sick of drinking liquid. It's not fun at all. So yeah. Okay. This was a long one. Sorry to drone on. Once again, if you guys listened, you're amazing. I don't even know. I'm just really nervous about the scope and the whole thing. I don't like being knocked out. I don't feel like anyone likes being knocked out. I get insanely sick with anesthesia, like for a good 8 hours after. I get real sick. Last time I didn't. I'm hoping that I don't this time. I told the lady that I see up there, and she made sure to relay the message to the anesthesiologist, so that was really nice. So he knows, like, going in how sick I get. Really sick. Like for 8 hours, no playing. So yeah. So hopefully that'll go well. We'll see. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I'm trying to find happy news to end it on. Tonight's board game night with the family. That's happy. That's a good one. I really want to go do another crochet with me at the creek before it gets, I mean, it's Oklahoma. It's gonna be warm for another month or two, but I really would like to go do that before it cools off. So that would be cool. That'll be my happy spot to end the creek. Okay. So thank you guys for listening to me drone on for over an hour. Part of it was yarn. I appreciate you guys so very much if you listen to me the whole way, because wow. I may just like roll this back and delete all this and just show yarn. We'll see. We'll see. I've done that before. So, okay. So thank you guys so very much for watching. Once again, if you watched to here, I love you. I appreciate it. That's how I know y'all want to listen, I guess. So yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go work on my Friday the 13th cardigan and just, I may wait a little bit to do that though. A break sounds nice, so I think I'm gonna do that. So alright, thank you guys once again. Hope you have a wonderfully blessed day. Please, please, please stay safe. Peace. Alright, cool. Thank you. Please stay safe. And I'll talk to you guys soon.